I'm just hitting record now. This is a juicy call tonight, guys. And for those of you who are watching the recording, you'll definitely want your notebook. For those here now, you definitely want your notebook. I am going to keep this really entertaining, really inclusive. And just thank you guys for your patience. We've been growing through some really big stages recently. There have been some new ways of doing things coming up, and you might be going, oh, we've been looking at this Lulu for a few weeks now, and some of you guys may have been putting it to the test, and some of you guys are still figuring it out. Some of you are doing a little bit here and there, and I want to make this call a really complete call, and it's an invitation. You know, I never want to be somebody who jumps on these calls and tell you what to do, because I'm just learning as well. I've not done a marketing degree, sadly. I'd love it if I had. I'm just learning from Jen Schultz, who I just believe does network marketing so powerfully, so beautifully, with just massive success. And I always believe, follow the people that have gone before you, follow the people that have got the success that you want, and mirror what they do and make it your own. And so everything that we've been putting to the test and putting into action has all come from Jen's leadership down with her phenomenal trainers like Kim Claver and Kath Clark, who I'm going to tell you a little bit more about. And Laura, after I spoke to you about her and I jumped in the page that I'm going to share with everyone, she's done a live today, Kath, and I think you guys are just going to love her. She's just wild. She's out there. She's loud. And she's going to teach more on marketing for the week. So I'm going to give you all this information and share my screen and show you guys where to find everything. So the reason I want you to have your notebook is because I am going to write this up. So it is a document that you guys can have your hands on. It's still about owning it and making all of this you. Making it sound like you, be you. You can still connect with people in the same way you connect with them. But the real thing that I would love to see shift in this team is more energy and joy back into the fun of connecting. And I really firmly believe that that comes when you find your people, when you connect with your people, you know, the people that just get you, the people you can share something, anything about in life, and they just get you. You know, I'm sure you can all think you've got friends already like that in your life. There are people yet to meet that they just get you. And so something I've been really seeing as so important is, and something I've not known about really properly in this whole 4 years that I've been with Isagenix, is actually how much more we need to focus marketing what we have to our people, e.g. our niche, our group of people that relate to us more powerfully than just everybody. I think it's really clear, and I feel like I'm duplicating what Kim Claver says, but I really believe the same, is that our products, they're not for everybody, and two, there might be people that you think that it's for, that it's just not for. There'll be people that we want it for more than they want it for themselves. We'll go, that person really needs Isagenix, and it's just not, and it's just not for them. And I think the sooner we all become comfortable knowing that Isagenix isn't for everybody, and not everybody is going to want to engage with you in what you're doing, the more relaxed you can feel about an objection, what we call an objection anyway, e.g. just someone saying it's not of interest to them. And what I really love is that Kim is teaching us a way to get that from somebody really quickly off the mark. So you can keep having a relationship with that person, but you know pretty soon into the combo whether this is something that they are interested in or not. So you don't have to go months of building a relationship and then feel like because they've said no that they're saying no to you as a person and as a friend. They're just saying, nah, I'm not interested in that. And that's okay. That is absolutely okay. So that's a really exciting part for me anyway, is that I can get to know straight away with a new connection, a new relationship, if somebody does have interest in improving their energy, sleeping better and reducing stress in their life. And if someone's not interested in that part of their life, that is a-okay, because I then don't have to go there. in trying to pull out of them if they're stressed or not sleeping. And, you know, it's so messy. So I've written down some notes here. I've been having lots of conversations with people doing Kath's course, Kim's course, who have been putting some really fabulous new ways of doing things into action and just seeing such great results. And I've really been mulling over this actually for a couple of weeks, and I really feel like it's ready to bring to you guys. So first of all, let's start with your people, your niche. I've been having some really great phone calls and conversations with lots of people in the team who have been saying, hey, can we have a chat? I really need to talk about this niching thing. Or I've prompted them with a question of, what's your niche? And they've told me, and I've gone, nah. And we've had then some really great conversations around it. And there's just been like, whoa, so much clarity here. So when it comes to figuring out your niche, this term, your people, right? If you have seen that recording that I posted last week, which was the pre-recording for Monday night's call, you'll see Kim Claver talking to a few of us about our niche. Who is it that we passionately want to share Isagenix with? And those people really need to be the people or the person that you were before you started Isagenix. Your niche are going to be that group of people that felt the same way you felt before you started the products, doing the things that you were doing, hanging out, working, socializing, just other versions of you. Now, I am focusing on midwives. You guys would have all seen my page, The Mindful Midwife. As you would have seen on that call, Kim actually coached me and said, instead of just midwives, go with shift workers. So that's what I've gotten into having my focus on. And what that's really done for me is it's enabled me to reconnect with the mindset of how I was as a midwife before Isagenix. So I start thinking about, what was Corinne feeling before she found Isagenix? What were the struggles? What were the pain points that Corinne was going through before she found Isagenix? And what had Corinne open up to start Isagenix? So I really want you guys to start to dig into, who was I before I started Isagenix? Because they're the people you're going to be able to speak their language. You're going to be able to speak their language to them in a way that Donna wouldn't be able to speak the language that I could speak to midwives about fatigue and burnout in shift work. She just wouldn't, because she's not been a midwife who's burnt out from shift work. In the same way, I couldn't talk to, like Sophie has gone into wanting to impact brides to be for their big day who want to shift weight before their wedding day. For me, that wasn't something I couldn't connect with someone, how someone might be feeling about that before their wedding day. And I'm going to get Rory to share a little bit more about what he's been digging into as well, and how I couldn't speak to his people because I hope you guys are really getting what I'm saying there. So when you've started to, who here has ever read a post or a book, or there's been a marketing, which you can now reflect on, it was a marketing, where someone said something and you've just been like, whoa, they're talking to me. Well, that's me. And you knew it was just you before you'd even finished what had been written. Yeah, I think Peter Kelly, definitely Peter Kelly does that so powerfully for me. So much so that I include things that she's written in like some of my events and presentations, because she just relates so much. And I was reading in a book this week on marketing that if you can have your people engage and connect to what you're saying without having to burn any calories in thinking, then you're going to connect much quicker and much more powerfully with that person than, say, if you were to say something that someone had to think, is that me? Is that really me? Have you guys also had that experience where someone says something and you've actually had to really think, is that really me? And you've gone, nah, it's not. And then you've not bothered with it. I can totally relate to that one as well. So you can start to see how marketing and sharing or selling of a product really comes down to really connecting with a certain person, and they're going to be your people. So I want you guys to write in your notes, with niche as the heading, just want you to start to write down some of the some of the daily feels that you were experiencing before you had your transformation, on your start off your transformation with Isagenix. How were you feeling day to day? What was your mindset like? Where were you going? What were you doing? How were you showing up? Just start to like write, even if it's just words down, and don't worry if you're like, oh, I'm not sure. Just write down whatever kind of comes into your mind. Who were you before you started Isagenix? It's the same way in which if you were about to share your 30-second story about Isagenix and you say, before Isagenix, I was da 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 da. Write that down, because that's how you start to discover who your niche are. Because it takes a little bit of brain strain, but we really, it's so important that we do it, because it's really, you like the brain strain. I really like that when Jen says that all the time. It's going to strain the brain, but it's really cool, because when you start to get this down and people say, so what is it that you do? I help midwives, or I help shift workers have more energy so they don't have to sleep on their days off. That was me. All I wanted to do was sleep on my days off most of the time. Shift to shift, I just wanted to sleep. I just wanted more energy. So when someone now says to me, so what do you do? I share, I help shift workers have more energy so they don't have to sleep on their days off. You can start to really play with, how were you feeling before Isagenix? How were you feeling? So that you can put that into, they're the people that I need to help. It doesn't have to just be women or men. It can be men and women, but what are they experiencing each day? So Rory and I had a really great phone call the other day. I'd been texting Rory after he'd watched the Kim Claver call, and I was asking for some feedback. What did you think? And I asked him, what's your niche? And Rory, I'd love it if you could just share. Could you just tell everybody a little bit about the journey that you went through in going from what you initially thought your niche was to what you unpicked and pinned and now establishing your niche? Can you give everyone an idea so that they can go away with the same tool and start to implement that for themselves?
Yes. Okay. Good afternoon, team. How are we all doing? So when I was, don't shake your head at me, Laura. Okay. I'm happy. So basically I listened to the video and everything, and I got confused between the difference between having a vision for your niche and actually identifying what your niche is. So when Koza first actually, messaged me, and so she's like, what's your niche? And I said, it's youth who want to progress. This is exactly from the message. Individuals who came from struggle but desire more for not only their life, but their families and those yet to come. And I identify so much more strongly with them. And she's like, okay, let's get on a buddy call, because she identified straight away that was the vision, but not necessarily my niche. So when we got down to the core of it, and this sparked so much in my head, and I had got so much value from it. But what we ended up identifying my niche as was, why has this gone away now? Basically, it's party animals who love to party but want to get healthier without sacrificing the party. Let's be honest, if you've met me, that's me to a bloody T, right? And so even as I was in the call with Koza, I changed my main bios to that. Haven't done Facebook yet, but I changed those. And today, one of my friends who I've been thick and thin with since my first year of high school, and we've been to every party together, every single one, he messaged me and he's like, what do you mean get healthier? Because he's seen me on my journey and everything. 2 hours later, he's signed up on a pack and he's in. That was just today, a day after identifying my niche and going out and talking and producing content directed at them. So when you figure out your niche, it's so much easier. It's like, I don't have to be someone I'm not. You just got to be your sexy self and start banging into people's lives. I liked it. Look how cocky you are.
When I told you about doing market research, Rory, what does that entail?
Oh my God. Wait, market research? Like going out to parties and meeting people. Like,
and now if that doesn't excite you, we haven't got your niche right.
imagine that as a job description. Like, yes, you have to go to parties a lot and meet people. Like, hell yeah.
So I love that, Rory. Thank you so much for sharing. But guys, what I really wanted you to get from that was that Rory really discovered for himself, what was he doing before he found Isagenix? He was partying. He was in a scene that he wasn't truly happy in. The parties consisted of alcohol and drugs and things that just weren't serving him. But why he started Isagenix, because he was just done with not getting getting ahead in his health. That's why he started Isagenix. But he doesn't have to give up the partying. Rory loves to just crack an e-shot and go to a party anyway. And in fact, for those of you guys that have ever been to an event in ISA, you know that we have the best parties ever. So what he can really engage in there are youth who love to party but can't get ahead in their health. You bring them along to an Isagenix event and they're going to get to see that you can still have the best of both worlds. So you can see there that like Rory is really connected to that, to his niche. He's really connected to that. And that's going to propel him in conversations. It's going to have people already reaching out, people who are wanting to hear more. So what I want you guys to do is really take this week to really start to focus on, who are my people? If you want to have a call about it, I'd love to. I find it so fun digging into this with you a little bit more. We can absolutely do that, because when you start to communicate with your niche, like I said, you can speak the same language as each other already. You've got that relatability with each other already. What you can do from there, though, just remember that not everybody in your niche and not everyone you speak the same languages is still going to enroll. We've still got the Lulu method of timeline questioning them, which is what I'm going to move on to next. So niching, look at it, really start to connect with who are your people, where are they, how do I connect with more of them? That in turn absolutely is going to change your Facebook bio. That little bit where you can write a certain amount of words. If you go onto my Facebook, underneath my profile picture, I've got a little spiel about helping shift workers have more energy so don't sleep on the days off. That little bio there, that's your little catch point. That's where if you've connected with someone new, you've reached out and you've met up with them you've connected with them on Facebook, they're going to stalk you. They're going to go to your Facebook for evidence of what you do and how you help your niche. They're going to go there for evidence. They're going to go and they're going to look at your profile picture. You definitely want to write some notes for this. They're going to look at your profile picture. They're going to look at your bio. They're going to look at your cover photo. And then they're going to scroll at least 10 posts down your Facebook page. They're going to scroll at least 10 posts down. So this is what I want you guys to just start to think a little bit about. What's your bio going to be that's really engaging? So it's who you're helping. What is your profile picture? I really recommend that your profile picture is a clear photo of you so that people can clearly identify that it's you. And if there's a picture of you specifically in your niche, e.g. I updated mine of me in my uniform that said midwife on it, that's mine. What is it that identifies you to your niche? And then your cover photo can just be engaging as well about the people that you help or what you believe in. And you can play around with it. Nothing's perfect initially.
What did you make your cover photo on? Because it's beautiful.
I used the new Isagenix social media design. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, pleasure. So I'm still toying with whether I change that to more of me doing midwife free, but I haven't. I'm just playing with it. But the bio and the profile picture are really, really good. I'm just going to quickly check the chat. Oh, that's so awesome. Cool. So yeah, they're three really core things. Now, when it comes to the first 10 things that people look at when they scroll your Facebook page, This is where you want to be really strategic with the kind of things that you post, the kind of things that you share, the kind of things that you ask. Something about human beings is that they just love to give their opinion. So polls are amazing. You guys go check out the poll that I did last week. There's like over 70 engagements on voting, and then there's a whole heap of comments as well. And I just love it. People love giving their opinion. So think about, what is it that you want to understand more about your niche and your people? What do you want to understand more about them? I want to understand how people think that they can get more energy. So I'm going to ask questions in a poll. Where do you think you build energy? At the gym or in your food? That was one question, for example. So start to think of some questions that you can ask your community, where you can start to get some market research, if you want to call it that. But really, you're just wanting to find out what makes people that are watching you, what do they believe in? What are they looking for? So you can start to think of some poll ideas that you can pop up. I recommend just one poll a week. Let it last the week. It will drizzle out after a couple of days. But you just record the information in your notes. You know, if you're going to ask people, what do they struggle with the most when they want to change something about their health? Is it the meal prep? Is it the time? You know, what are they where do they find that they lack the most in consistency? And then give them some options around that. Just so you can actually start to get some real answers from the people in your network, rather than just assuming that everybody needs Isagenix. Cool. So, that's all good, Kagan. Don't worry, you're back now, and you can just catch up on that little bit on the recording for sure. So, there is some really awesome free training that is happening this week. And it doesn't matter if you can't catch Kath on her live, but what you can do is if anybody wants to be added to this private group, can you please just comment in the chat section, or if you're watching the recording, just message me. I can add you to a Facebook page called Becoming Tribe Famous or something like that. It's Kath Clark's private Facebook group. And Kath is a whiz in all things marketing, how to speak to your network in your niche. So what she's doing is, from Monday to Friday this week at 1 p.m. Melbourne time, she's going live in the group for about 30, 40 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour, just because she's got so much that she wants to give away and share. You'll really love her as well, Mum. Yeah, you'll really like her. And what she's doing is she's just giving away freebies. And this is another huge thing that I'm learning. The more you can contribute to your network and your tribe for free, the more you can give away and contribute, whether that's an amazing recipe or great ways of snacking or things that you've discovered. Like if you want to build more energy, don't go on your phone before, just articles. Just keep giving things away to your tribe. Keep giving things away for free. So that when you want to do a call out or a call to action for people, you've already got an engaged audience. So this is what Kath is doing. She's doing, for 5 days, she's doing live videos in her page, teaching you the skills around marketing and around talking to your niche. So jump on there, absolutely make the most of all the free content, take heaps of notes, get your niche together this week so that you can step into it the following week. A little bit more savvy around marketing, because we are network marketers. So we need to learn how to market, and we need to learn how to network. Those are two really fundamental things that I have never been taught before, and I never knew I had to learn before, which is why we're only really talking about it now. And yes, it's a little bit new. Yes, it's a little bit different. But if we really want to step it up and get past the glass ceiling that we've currently hit, all of us, if we want to break through that and move into the next phase of our network marketing journey and income and business, this is what it's going to take. And it's really exciting, because actually this is where you start to develop your purpose and your passion for people and who you're here to really help. and how to go about doing it easier, it's more simply. So I focused a lot there. That was really heavy on the niche, but it will be brain strain, getting into work, really thinking about it and making it happen. But once you've got it, you just get to run with it. You get to run with it. All the groups that you can add yourself to that are specific, all the pages that you can go and contribute into, and just start showing up as that person that you want to show up as. So I'll take a note of all you guys that have put your hand up for Kath Clark, and anyone else, just send me a message. You'll really enjoy what she has to share. Second time she's doing it. So the second part of what I wanted to share was going on to Lulu. So you guys might want to write this down if you haven't been able to pick through exactly the step-by-steps with Lulu. But let's just say you've connected with a person who is in your niche. So you know you're going to be speaking the same language. And you can always, of course, if you don't know that person and there isn't a full connection there yet, of course you're going to need to have a couple of to and fro chit chats, so you're building this initial connection. Give you an example. I've been on LinkedIn for the last 2 days, updated my profile, updated my bio, and I've gone and added about 300 midwives from all over the world who are listed as midwives on there, right? I've just gone connect. So then those that have connected back with me, I've sent them a private message, and I've just said to them, I've just asked them if they're shift workers, and if I can add value or support them in any way, or anyone they know, please reach out and connect. So it's just that initial standpoint there. But as the conversation then starts to flow and we're asking each other questions and we're having conversation, we then need to step into the Lulu method. And this is what Kim Claver teaches, right? So step 1, we're going to ask them, Laura, question for you. And we wait for them to give us the go ahead. They'll say, yeah, what's up? What is it? And then the next thing you want to ask them is, do you have any interest in? And then the 2 or 3 things you can pick, the 2 or 3 things that you're going to ask them if they've got any interest in need to relate to the results that you've had. So it could be weight wellness, weight loss, energy, and cleansing. Now, something that Josh Carter taught me that I really want you guys to know as well, if you're seeing lots of people using the weight wellness, energy, and cleansing, change the order. Even if you just change the order of the words, do anything a little bit different to what everyone else is doing already puts you a big step ahead of the rest of the pack, right? So my 3, for example, are, I would say, do you have any interest in improving your energy, sleeping better, or reducing stress? They're my 3. They're the 3 that I ask midwives. Do you have any interest in improving energy, improving sleep, or reducing stress? Sleeping better. Yeah. Laura's in. So that's what you ask next. You're asking, do they have any interest in? They're going to say yes, or they're going to say no. The ones that say no, that is all good. Just say all good. That's absolutely fine. They don't have to have an interest in it, but you already know now. Don't try and go on about it. They're not interested in that kind of stuff. Those that say yes, we've got a journey to go on with those that say yes, and stick with me, guys, because the results that I'm already seeing in this are just fantastic. And the steps that I've now put together and the new group that I've provided for you guys, I cannot wait to add you all to straight after this. If you want to jump in and do it this way too, this is where we're going to really start to see people jumping on board and staying in our team for at least 90 days. Who wants people to stick around after that first 30 days? Yeah? You want people to stick around more than a month? And what if they stuck around for 90 days? What if they did 3 months? You know that if people stick around for a couple of months, 90 days, they are going to stick around for a long time to come. We know that. We know the facts around that. So we're asking those who are interested. So if someone says yes, you then want to say, well, I might have something for you. And now on a scale of 1 to 10, if 1 was, I'm not looking to change anything, and 10 was, I'm all about it, what have you got for me? Where would you rate yourself on your level of commitment for wanting some change right now in your life? And so you again, you're going to get another 2 type of people. You're going to get one person that says they're interested in what you're talking about, but they're only a 4 out of 10. They're interested, but they don't really want to do anything to change. Or you're going to have the people that are interested and they're 8, 9, or 10 out of 10. Yes. And they're the people we're looking for. So let's just take anyone that rates themselves less than an 8. What you're going to say to that person is, oh, that's really cool. Sounds like you're already on a journey of health, or whatever that little section is, that whatever that little sentence is, but you're just going to acknowledge them, reply to their message, acknowledge them, and just say, well, what I'm doing might not be for you right now. It's for people who are like an 8, 9, or 10 out of 10 of wanting some change. But stay in contact. And if you really want to make a change in those areas that I mentioned before, then just reach out. I'd love to help you if you need me to. Just be really real with what you're saying. Just let it be your language, let it be your flow, but you just need to share with them and let them know that this isn't for them right now with their level of commitment that they're in right now. Cool? So then anyone that rates themselves an 8, a 9, or a 10 out of 10, they're the people that we're really starting to get some engagement with. And now this is the part where we want to go, it's Isagenix! You're going to love it! And we get so excited. I just want to tell them everything. They could, because I know that they're going to love it. But it's really important that we throw in a couple of road bumps here. We really want to be sieving out the really truly committed people, so that we have people engaging in our pages, engaging in the products, taking 2 shakes a day and actually using the system, replying to your messages when you reach out and ask them how they're doing. We want people like that. So they've rated themselves an 8, 9, or 10. They're like, yeah, I'm really into that. I'm really committed to doing something different. The first road bump that you want to give them is you want to share with them that this is a unique way of eating. This is a different way of nutrition. And it does take a good 60 to 90 days to master using these products. It does take 60 to 90 days to master. Could you commit to something like that? You want to ask them that question. It's a unique system. It's a bit wacky. Some of the these are some of the words that you might want to use. It's a little bit out there. It's a little bit abstract. It's a little bit different, because it is. It's not normal to cleanse in our societies. It's a little bit different, a little bit out there. And it does take a good 60 to 90 days to really start to master it. Would you be committed to something like that? Could you be committed to something like that? And then we get a reply. Nah, I just want a quick fix. Not our person. Nah, that sounds too long. Doesn't sound like I couldn't be committed to that. All good. Not to worry. If you are one day, I'd love to help you. Put them on your follow-up list. Stay friends. You don't have to desert them. But those that say, yes, I could commit to that, now you know that they have confirmed themselves 3 times. They're interested in what you're talking about. They're an 8, 9, or 10 out of 10, and they're committed to doing something for 60 to 90 days. You've now got somebody really interested in what you've got to offer, who is also ready to give you their commitment of making change. So cool. So at this point, this is where we start to get to know them a little bit more. So now what we've done is we've actually created a space that is just for these people. I've created a Facebook group that is just for people who are committed to change, who are willing to give you 60 to 90 days, and they want to check it out a bit more. We still haven't said it's Isagenix. We still haven't gone all into detail about the packs and the products and their options and all this kind of stuff. We're literally just at a point where we say to them, cool, I'm going to send you a link. You're welcome to join our Facebook group and check out some of the results of people who have been using the system, including me. So you're not going to invite them to the page in the way you've been doing in Nourish. You're going to send them the link to the page so they can invite themselves. Because when they do, I've prompted with 3 questions that they have to answer before they can get in the page. So it's really just taking the, oh, I'm a little bit interested in what you have to offer. Yeah, add me to your page. And then, or they ghost you, or they block you, or they've deleted you or something, or you can't get anything out of them ever again. And then we've got a page full of hundreds of people that are just disengaged, right? We're not doing that anymore. We're inviting people to add themselves to a group, to a page, a group. I keep getting pages and groups all over muddled. Apologies. They can add themselves in and they can start to see results. So I'm just going to screen share with you what that looks like. So Sarah and Rory, the people that you've added or invited to Nourish the Best You tonight, this is where I want you to send them the link to add themselves to instead. So this is called the Best You. So what you just do is you just copy this and you send them that link in Facebook Messenger, and it will send them an invite. And then all they do is they invite themselves to the group, and then there'll be a few questions. So this is what I call the landing page. So it's the Best You X, and then we've got the Best You Nourish, which we've got called Nourish the Best You. So the Best You X is our space where we're inviting people to add themselves, to come join, to uncover what is this thing that Sarah's been doing that she's got me really interested in, that I'm really engaged in, and I'm looking to have a transformation in my energy or my weight wellness or my sleep or my stress. What is this? So they're going to jump in this page and they're going to see if this pinned post here where I'm talking about, this was me, I was exhausted, I was tired, and thank goodness that the Best You Nourish program came into my life, because now I've been able to rebalance my energy. A picture of me in my uniform again. And so what this page is going to do is we're not going to be talking about Isagenix. I'm going to invite all of you guys who aren't already in here into the page. But the real intention of this is that people are in here, they're answering polls, they're answering questions, they're seeing results, and they're engaging. And people don't stay in here forever. This is a landing page where people get to go through and they get to assess further the results. We're going to be welcoming in all these people that add themselves. We're going to be welcoming them in once a week. We're going to do a post around all the new people that have added themselves in. Welcome, jump in, follow the instructions in the cover photo, and ask any questions that you might have. There's polls in there. We want to know things about what are these people looking for exactly. And all the stories that we share and the transformations that we share, we're relating to 3 core things: energy, weight wellness, and stress. So you can post a transformation in there. You can post your own transformation in there, but talk about, if you want to mention, instead of mentioning Isagenix, mention the Best You Nourish program. So that people are like, this Best You Nourish program, I need to get in that group. Sarah's clan all getting involved. So it's results on results on results on results on results. If you've got somebody in there who is a 9 out of 10, ready to commit 60 to 90 days, and they're just seeing results, 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 what do you think they're going to want to do? They're going to want to get to that place that all of these people that have got the results have gone to, which is what Nourish the Best You is now going to become. It's going to become a page for our paying customers. It is a space that our paying customers exist in. So guys, I'm not saying you have to go through Nourish the Best You and take out all of the people that you would have added in there. But guys, I actually believe that you can go back and try and have some engaging conversation with people that you've added in. See if you can get some connective conversation going. You can try and find out where they are on the scale of 1 to 10, and then just share with them. We've actually made Nourish the Best You just for the customers, but we've actually created another group for people who are still thinking about whether this is for them. Here's the link. If you're interested, you're welcome to add yourself in. And if they don't add themselves in, then you've got your answer. They're not really interested. And you can be all good with that, rather than just constantly sitting on the same people that just aren't doing anything. There's a really solid description in there, so go and have a read of it. So once, I'm going to just stop the share so I can see you guys. Are there any questions on that page before I carry on? Hagen's giving me the thumbs up. Hi, babes. Hi, Sancha. No questions. That's all good. If questions come up, just message me them. It's all good. So Rory, for example, that person that you've gone to add to Nourish the Best You tonight, send them that link to that group instead. Send them that link to add themselves to the group.
But what if he's already started ISA? So do you still want to?
Oh, cool. Yeah, you've already enrolled it.
Yeah.
Yep, sweet as, no worries. Yep, have him in Nourish.
But new people direct over there instead.
Yes, you got it.
Perfect.
Yes, awesome. Great, thanks for clarifying. And Sarah, your 4 girls that you've added tonight, you're just going to send them the link to that group and add them in there, and invite them to add themselves. Just encourage them to add themselves to the page, to the group instead.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's a much better idea, because they're not part of it yet. So that gives them the responsibility. Thanks.
Love it. And the strawberry kisses. Okay, so that's a really powerful landing page that we can start to really utilize, that we're sending the link. What I can do is I'll send a screenshot of an example text that I sent to somebody who was already in the Nourish the Best You, who I wanted to come out of Nourish the Best You and actually pop themselves into the Best You X. And he's on holiday, but he's acknowledged that I'm going to take him out of Nourish, and that if he wants to still see results and look at Isagenix, then he needs to add himself in there. The second part to that is that I've put together a questionnaire, so you can actually start to get some, not just the commitment levels of people, but you can actually really get to know where they're at. So I'll send you guys all the links so you can see the questionnaire. I am sending it out to every person that gets to add in themselves to that group, because it asks them all sorts, like how much they're spending each week on their food, what they're eating, like all this kind of stuff, just so we can be even more connected. So if you've met somebody on LinkedIn and you've had a conversation and they've said they're interested and they've rated themselves as being a 10 out of 10, and you've thrown a speed bump and said, hey, that this is going to take some commitment, it's a bit of a wacky way of doing it, and does it sound like something you'd be interested in? And they say, yeah. I'll say, cool, here's a link to the group, add yourself in, and here's a short questionnaire. I'd just love to know a little bit more about your goals. Send it back to me. Boom, send them those 2 links and await their action. So how much better do you guys think that that's going to feel, that people are then starting to take their own responsibility for looking at ISA for themselves, rather than you getting out there and trying to convince people to jump on board for them just to leave in a month or 2 with all the hard work that you're doing to support them? Yeah, it feels much better. Feel free if anyone wants to jump off and share what they think. I know it's new and it's different to how we've done it before, but I really see this as being a way to improve what we're doing and get better results, so that we have committed, excited people jumping on board, and us not just being good at a quick sale. Does anyone want to ask anything or share anything about it?
Hi.
Thanks.
I think it's a much better way of doing it, because I sometimes think when you talk about it a bit, you add people to Nourish, they accept it more because they know you and they like you, and they're just accepting your page without really understanding it or knowing that what's involved.
Yeah.
So with this new version, and you're actually asking them to take a bit of accountability for themselves, I think that would be a much more successful way of having people that are properly on board rather than just looking at it for the sake of it.
Yeah, love that. Great feedback.
Good idea.
Yay! Awesome. Hey, Sancha. Yay, love it. Love it. Oh, that's all good, Mum. I'm glad you managed to sit on for such a long time being at work. Bye. Anybody else want to share anything? What are they thinking? It doesn't have to just all be in agreement. You can throw a spanner in the works for me if you want.
I think I much prefer having the Nourish as a paid customer kind of page, especially for if we got the posting schedule and everything in there. It's so much more value to those who actually started rather than looking at it and pairing it. And even though it's still good, don't get me wrong, but it's also much more valuable to people who can use it then and there and implement it and action it instead of reading it, forgetting about it in 30 minutes and struggling to find it again. So it's I love how we're slowly ticking away and ticking all the boxes in terms of getting all our pages set up properly so it flows a lot better.
Yeah, I am as well, Rory. Thanks for sharing that. I'm really like, this is a long-term business. You know, this is about getting things working and flowing so that when we have got thousands of people each in our downline, they're all knowing and they're all systemized and they're all sending out the questionnaire to people that have said they're committed, to people that have said they're engaged. And it's just going to take away so much disappointment that we've previously been having when someone is just disengaged because we've gone too quickly ahead before we really know their level of commitment. And I just really feel that this is going to bring a lot more fun, a lot more engagement from the people who are engaged and committed big time. I'm just going to read Donna's question. Do you think we could get a list of all the pages and what their uses are? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We really just want to be focusing on our 3 pages, really, our personal 3 pages, and pouring content into those. If you're part of lots of other Isagenix pages, then feel free to leave them. Like, if they don't serve you, or just turn off the notifications. If you're in IsaBody and you're in Isagenix Business, UK, NZ, ANZ, events, blah, blah, blah. You know, there are loads. But if you want to, yeah, Rory, thanks for your contribution. I know you've got to shoot off for work. Thanks for jumping on. If it's not of service to you to be getting all the notifications, switch them off and focus on your 3 pages. So the Best You X, and I'm calling it X because it would be really nice to start to brand everything we do, the Best You big dash, and then whatever it might be, retreat. It might be the Best You events, the Best You sip and sample. Like, you can put whatever your event's going to be called after the Best You, just so that the branding is the same across the board. So the Best You X is just a landing space. People, they sit in there, but ideally they don't sit in there for long because they're going to see people jumping in who watch, and then we're going to celebrate. Sarah's just made it into the Best You Nourish. How exciting. Congrats. Sarah's now moved over into the Best You Nourish, which people are going to start to understand. That's where you go when you're a paying customer. And we go, congrats, you're going to have a great experience. Woohoo. So others in the group are like, oh my gosh, people are moving on to the next stage, which is the Best You Nourish. So the Best You X is like this holding space for engaging potential customers. Nourish the Best You, or the Best You Nourish, the same thing, is where we're going to have our paying customers, where we're just going to keep adding value, how we use the products, what we do, and how we live a healthy lifestyle, some of the treats that we still have in life, all the juiciness that happens in Nourish the Best You just gets to stay the same. But we really do get to talk about Isagenix and results and everything that's still happening in there. And then the Ignite page is for anybody who wants to learn how to share. Anything from, I just want to share with a couple of people and make some income, or I want to create a business and I want to create a steady income stream. It's for everybody, Ignite. I'd love some of your thoughts if you get to this space and you're thinking, how would you guys feel about if we had it the Best You wealth or something like that? Something to toy with. I won't make any changes without us having a bit of thought on it. I don't feel it's something we need to rush into doing right now. I think we just need to really focus on having our niche, having the conversations through the Lulu method, getting them in that page, in that group, and then enrolling them, and then filling out the quiz. So let's just start with that. I'll make a little flow chart. I'm already putting it together, but I know you guys have been scribbling down your notes. Just keep connecting. Just figure out who's your niche, so you can just have your social platforms really focused on your people, and keep having great conversations and just ask them, can I ask you a question? Do you have any interest in da 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 da? And just start to have those kind of conversations with people, and you'll really start to see you can move through conversations so much quicker. Yes, we can absolutely do a call on it, Donna. Just right now, just write down all those ideas so we can jump on that call, and anybody else that wants a call about niching, write down everything we spoke about at the beginning, about who you were before Isagenix and everything you were doing and experiencing day to day. Have it all down. So come with an idea, and then we can pick it apart and we can have you feeling really great about it and taking some really cool action from there. I'd love your feedback, whether you're watching the recording or you're here on the live. I'd love some feedback. I'm going to add you guys into Kath's page for that free training this week, and I'm going to invite you guys to the Best You X, so you can experience it as if you were adding somebody in yourself. Just always think, right, if I sent this link to someone and they were adding themselves in, this is what they're going to be seeing. So you get to see it through their eyes. So I'm just going to write down all the names of those that said, yes, I want Kath's, which is there. And I'll stop the recording.